Welcome to this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. I'm your host, Splan Spadorio. Joining me today is Vice Mayor Julie Testa, of course, from the city of Pleasanton. Welcome, Julie.
Well, thank you.
So let's start off with, instead, since you're filling in for Mayor Brown, Vice Mayor's choice. Any topics you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, I have a couple that I think that our residents should know about. Traffic delays make me cranky, so I want our residents to know that there are going to be some around town and want to be prepared. You can avoid these areas and save yourself some frustration. The city has several capital improvement projects going on right now, a pavement repair project and a water system improvement project. Over the next couple of months, we'll see a lot of work on our roadways as crews work around the Hop Yard and Stone Ridge Drive area. The first project is a roadway replacement along Hop Yard Road on Valley Avenue. Much of the work will be done at night, but you will see and feel the difference in the daytime as well. And you should expect delays and try to avoid that area. That should be done by September. There will also be, we're installing new pipeline along Stone Ridge Drive from Hop Yard to Johnson Drive. This is really very important for our water distribution. When these projects are completed, similar work will be done as we repair a roadway along Bernal Avenue and replace a water pipe on Sonoma Boulevard. That's my neighborhood, so that's going to be frustrating for me. These projects are expected to start later in the summer or fall. I know it's frustrating, but the city will be better for having these projects completed.
It's a little bit of inconvenience for better service.
A much better experience, absolutely, yes.
All right, thank you so much, Julie. Hey, let's talk about something that you at the City Council have kicked around for a while now, and there's an idea of putting a half-cent sales tax measure on the ballot. You want to give our viewers an update on where that's at?
You bet. The city's facing a severe and increasing structural budget shortfall of $13 million annually over the next 8 years. In response, we've been working to proactively address the projected budget deficit with a combination of reduced costs and increased revenue. Among cost containment efforts, we've delayed the purchase of equipment and vehicles, frozen several hiring positions, reduced contract costs, consolidated our engineering and operation services to be more efficient, and into one public works department. Additionally, on June 18th, the City Council approved a reduction of $2.5 million in the upcoming fiscal year budget and created a contingency menu of cuts that may become necessary, we hope not, if revenues don't increase. We've also presented draft ballot language for a potential tax measure. The City Council staff presented a public opinion poll that we did to assess the community's priorities, and the results showed that the half-cent sales tax measure is probably viable. We're hoping that it would be, and there is support for a general purpose measure increase similar to since a similar poll in September 2023. 58% of those surveyed indicated support for the general purpose measure. So polling tax results show that sales tax measure to maintain essential city services and protect Pleasanton's quality of life may be viable for the November 24 election. A half-cent sales tax increase, if passed, would add approximately $10 million to the general fund. A final decision on whether or not to include this sales tax on the ballot for November will be made at our next City Council meeting, July 16th.
All right, thanks for the update, Julie. All right, thank you. And all the history behind it, the reasons for it. Thank you very, very much. Now let's talk about something really fun and exciting. It's rare we get to talk about 130th anniversary of anything, really, but the city of Pleasanton really recently celebrated 130th anniversary of being incorporated.
Right.
So give us, there was a proclamation. Tell us a little bit about the pomp and circumstances surrounding this.
Yeah, it was so much fun at our last Friday before the concert in the park. We got to celebrate with the community, and this question was a good question for me because we did some research that I wasn't even aware of. So the city incorporated to implement public services and set regulations for local health, safety, and with the goal of attracting new businesses, residents that would help Pleasanton grow in prosperity. While we can't say specifically why the decision to incorporate was made, the state legislature passed a law in 1893 that expanded the regulatory power of smaller incorporated municipalities, which may have been a catalyst for that decision. Right now we're talking about possibly becoming a charter city, which would also expand our autonomy a little bit more. I'm hoping we will have the opportunity to do that.
And Julie, maybe remind viewers that well, before incorporated, it was part of the county. It was a little part of the county, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, and you had to listen to whatever the folks in Oakland said, and when you incorporated, then you had your own city council and city manager, etc. So anyway, keep on going. Thank you.
Well, I love that you say that, though, because the point being local control, that we should be able to decide on what works best. One size does not fit all statewide, and Pleasanton is so different from Oakland or San Francisco or San Jose or Lafayette. And so that's something that we continue to struggle with today. It is to push back on state overreach and maintain control over what we know is best for Pleasanton while still recognizing and working regionally. Right. So
tell us a little bit more about the proclamation. And you said you started off telling a little bit about the concert in the park, but was there all the officials were there? Tell us how was it received by the folks at the event?
Well, of course, everyone was anxious to get on to the great music, but I was given the opportunity at the beginning to welcome everybody and introduce General Pleasanton. He explained how we got our name. It was named after General Pleasanton, but there was a typo at one point in the name, and we became Pleasanton with an A instead of an O. So he explained that to the crowd, and it was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun, letting everybody celebrate that we are a community. We've been together, a community for a very long time, and we've done such a good job of creating a good family community. So,
right. Well, so now this was a general, if I remember, that was from the Civil War, but came to this area. Is that right, Julie?
He was. What I found interesting was he was from the Union Army, and what I noticed in the past, he was wearing a gray uniform, and this Friday he was wearing a blue uniform, so that was kind of interesting. But I think the original general wore the gray uniform. And so, yeah, he came to Pleasanton and established and played a role in our origins, and so we are named after him. And I think a lot of people believe, and rightfully so, that we're named Pleasanton because we are such a pleasant place to live. And that's nice. I've always liked the name for that reason. But to understand the real origin of the name is nice also.
Well, we can always want to believe that General Pleasanton was a nice, pleasant person also.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's talk about I know it's not that it just started and all of a sudden a town showed up. There were actually people, there were buildings here. and there's a lot of history of some of the older buildings in Pleasanton. Give us, maybe our viewers, a little insight in some of those buildings.
We love our history. We have our museum downtown that on Main that helps us know a lot, and our school students, I think it's 3rd or 4th grade, visit the museum and learn about so many of our heritage locations. But you know, when we were incorporated in 1894, the city's area was generally, in total, what is now our downtown area.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That's really interesting.
I picture that. It was this small horse and buggy kind of area. We've seen some pictures, but obviously we've grown, we've evolved, and it's important to maintain our history. We love our historic downtown, but we have our high-tech Hacienda Business Park and our Stone Ridge Mall, which we're working on revisioning. So we're just a really diverse community that started from that little Main Street, that one road. So as far as our buildings that are currently in existence, there's over a dozen structures dating back to 1894. We have the Cottinger Barn, built in 1851, our beautiful Alvisa adobe, and anyone who hasn't been up there, I mean, it's been recreated. It's just a beautiful spot, beautiful place to go and take pictures. And it was originally built in 1854. What's there today is a recreation, but it's just so much fun to feel like you're stepping back in time. The Lighthouse Baptist Church on Neal Street was built in 1876. It's such a charming to drive by. I've always really appreciated that. Again, as you drive around Pleasanton, and you can just look back in time. Dean's Cafe and Pleasanton Jewelers on Main Street started off as a store. Thiessen Construction on Railroad Avenue. Gale Building, originally a butcher shop, built on Neal Street in 1882. The Blue Agave, what a beautiful building that is. Yeah, the Blue Agave dates back to pre-1888, which is on Main Street. Aldrin Dentistry was built in 1890, and that's on Division Street, a lovely home. Century House, which was originally a private residence, is now on Santa Rita Road, and we're really trying to preserve the history of that lovely home. So there's also a number of residents that are celebrated regularly by the Pleasanton Downtown Heritage Association, and many of those date back to the city's incorporation, mostly on 2nd Street and in the downtown area.
Wow, Julie, thanks so much for, I mean, actually, I particularly enjoyed, I didn't know some of those buildings dated from that time frame. That was great. Yeah. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be right back on this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. Welcome back to this edition of the Mayor's Report for Pleasanton. We are here talking with Vice Mayor Julie Testa. Welcome back, Julie.
Thank you.
All right, so the big question of the day, I drove on 680 yesterday. There's a Costco sign on the building. Mm-hmm. So residents want to know, when's it opening?
Yeah, you know, there's actually been some confusion about that because Costco put out a wrong date. And we did confirm that that wasn't completely accurate, but we are excited that things are absolutely moving along. Delays had happened because of PG&E issues, things outside of our control. But both the gas station and Costco warehouse structures are well underway, and significant roadway improvements are also moving forward, including the installation of 3 new traffic signals along Johnson Drive to make the traffic smoother. Upcoming milestones of the Johnson Drive Economic Development Zone project are include connection to power, communications, water, and fire services. With all of the work happening now, we're expecting Costco to open sometime this fall. In addition to the Costco development on Johnson Drive, the city has added 2 new hotels, Spring Hill Suites and Town Plaza Suites. Both are opened. They opened last winter and provide an additional 231 Pleasanton hotel rooms to our Pleasanton history, which is currently the largest in the Tri-Valley, and I didn't know this, at over 2,000 rooms now in Pleasanton. A drive-through coffee shop is also planned. Pleasanton is a community that's known for sports events and outdoor recreation, which residents as well as visitors come to enjoy and stay. The additional 2 hotels positively add to the city's transit occupancy tax, known as TOT, revenue, which allows the city to provide many amenities for residents and visitors. The city partners with Visit Tri-Valley, which manages the Tri-Valley Tourism Marketing District, whose main charge is to promote local tourism and hotel occupancy.
So you're saying sometime this fall, the $1.50 hot dogs and a drink will be available in Pleasanton?
You know, and I've been following that $1.50 hot dog and the discussion of whether they would raise the cost on that or not. And last I heard, the CEO of Costco says he will not raise the rate of that hot dog.
Holding the line.
Coming soon, yes.
All right, thanks, Jill. Thanks for the update. I'm sure our viewers really appreciate and are excited when that finally opens.
Yes.
All right. Bike Pleasanton Network. Can you tell our viewers a little bit about this extensive bike network that exists right here?
Yeah. You know, and it's so important that we provide safe bike lanes. The city has approximately 89 miles of bike lanes and over 5 miles of bike lanes protected with the green bollards, and several projects that will increase the safety of bikers on our roadways in the works. The city's biking network includes off-street paved and unpaved trails, on-street bike lanes, and much more. Most major roadways throughout the city have dedicated bike lanes. You can get across town from north to south and east to west using the city's bike lanes. Another great opportunity for biking around town is for people working in the Hacienda Business Park, as most streets throughout the center have bike lanes. You can find more information about all things about biking in Pleasanton at bikepleasanton.com. They have a map of the Pleasanton Bike Network where you can see where are designated bike lanes, wide road shoulders, trails on sidewalks, and multi-use trails and unpaved trails throughout the city. In addition, you can find information on bike safety classes, events, and information how to properly fit your bike helmet, how to trigger a traffic signal, and laws related to biking.
And Julie probably should add that these aren't just bike lanes just for those super fast bikers with the fancy outfits, but it's for everybody, right? If you're just a leisurely ride out during the early evening, this is a good thing for you to do, and there's a lot of safe places to do it.
Absolutely. We want our families to be safe. We want our families to feel that they can avoid the car and get out and go to the concert in the park, riding their bikes.
That's right. Yeah, go see cultural events.
There you go.
So this is next subject is National Night Out, and I noticed that the applications, if you would like your home to participate, would be July 1st, I believe. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about National Night Out, when it is, and what's its purpose.
Well, thanks for asking. Every year, National Night Out takes place on the first Tuesday of August. It's designed to promote partnerships between the police and the community. It's always one of my most favorite events because I get to ride along with an officer and go from party to party. And in fact, this year, first time in 10 years, my neighborhood will be hosting an event as well. So I was just talking to some of my neighbors today about getting ready, and we are going to file our application on July 1st. This year, you can get to know your neighbors and first responders on August 6th from 5 till 9 p.m. as the Pleasanton Police Department invites you to join in and strengthen neighborhood connections. During these annual events, residents will celebrate National Night Out with block parties across Pleasanton, anticipating over 30 block parties for 2024, 31 now with my neighborhood. We're excited to greet residents in each neighborhood. Whether it's a potluck, chili cook-off, ice cream social, live music, or bounce houses, National Night Out offers a great opportunity to participate in family-friendly activities in your own neighborhood. Beyond the festivities, National Night Out emphasizes the importance of safety and community vigilance. Pleasanton is renowned for its commitment to public safety, ensuring a secure and peaceful environment for all residents, and the city takes great pride in fostering a safe environment that emphasizes the importance of trust and transparency. Our police department provides proactive approach to crime prevention and swift professional responses to emergencies. Moreover, Pleasanton Police Department values meaningful interactions with residents, actively engaging in community outreach programs and maintaining open lines of communication to build strong collaborative relationships. I really appreciate and support all their efforts. Educating residents to prioritize safety and remain vigilant in reporting crimes is pivotal to maintaining our quality of life. This event serves as an opportunity for residents to engage directly with their police department, seek safety tips, and discuss community safety issues. To participate in National Night Out, visit www.pleasantonpd.org and complete the registration form between July 1st and 31st. Don't miss out on this event of fun. By partnering with your local first responders, we can make our community safer and more connected. And when you register, you will have representatives of the police department and the fire department coming to your event. City council members show up when asked. Some do and some don't. And it's fun. I mean, the fire department will bring out a fire truck and talk to the kids, and the police come in with sirens and lights, and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so big question will be, so your neighbors have been talking. Anything special on the menu? Anything special for the police or the fire folks when they show up?
You know, in my neighborhood, we're working on the menu right now, whether we want to make, big potluck or keep it simple with hot dogs and ice cream. So we haven't decided, but in my years of visiting others, there's one neighborhood that traditionally does a chili cook-off competition where several residents bring, and last year I did a sampling of the many different chilies, and you vote on which one. So different neighborhoods. There's another neighborhood that has traditionally done a pizza food truck. Ooh, I know, I like going to that one. There are some that are quite big and elaborately done, and some that are smaller. So whatever works for your neighborhood. We're trying to decide whether we want to have a rock and rollin' good time or whether we want to keep it smaller and personal. But I think we're leaning towards the rock and rollin' good time, so I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds fun. That's fun. Yeah, thanks for letting our viewers know. All right, finally, there's always great things happening for the residents and for actually visitors who want to come into Pleasanton. Can you highlight some of the upcoming events that are going on in Pleasanton?
You betcha. Summer's well underway, and we have lots of fun things happening around Pleasanton. There's the Friday concerts in the park have already gotten started, and it's always a favorite of mine. I go to those as often as I can, and from my home I get the benefit of hearing the music even when I'm not down at the concert, and I love it. Every Tuesday, join the city for annual movies at the park event at Amador Valley Community Park. My 86-year-old mother is coming into town, and I plan to take her to a favorite movie night. Grab your blankets, popcorn, and loved ones for a night of outdoor cinematic magic under the stars. And be sure to bring your appetite for fun activities, games for the whole family. Movies begin at dusk and will be shown every Thursday through August 1st, except for the 4th of July. Show times in June include Disney's Wish on Thursday, July 11th. I'll be there with my mother. and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, on Thursday, July 18th. Man, Ninja Turtles were my boy's favorite. You can find the full summer lineup at the city's website. We're also happy to host, again, a favorite of mine, Shakespeare in the Park, for the 19th year in Pleasanton at the Amador Valley Community Park on Saturdays and Sundays until July 14th. That's such a great event, and it's free for us.
Well, thank you so much, Julie, for updating us and being here with us. I'm Splen Splendorio. Join us for the next episode of the Mayor's Report of Pleasanton right here on Tri-Valley TV. Thank you so much for watching.